For years, Max Verstappen has been the indomitable force behind Red Bull's dominance in Formula One, a symbol of raw speed, cold precision, and relentless ambition. But now, the very driver who once claimed he'd never drive for another team appears to be rethinking everything as whispers of technical doubts swirl around Red Bull's in-house engine program. And with Christian Horner's exit leaving a power vacuum in the team's core, Verstappen is starting to look elsewhere, and the silver arrows of Mercedes are gleaming brighter than ever. Behind the scenes, there's a storm brewing. Sources suggest that Verstappen has been in advanced discussions with Mercedes, enticed by their cutting-edge preparations for the sweeping 2026 regulation overhaul. And now, with a hidden clause in his Red Bull contract providing a potential escape route, all eyes are on the Hungarian Grand Prix. Could the four-time world champion really walk away from Red Bull before 2026 begins? If this is your first time here, subscribe, because what happens next could reshape the future of Formula One. And this is the place to uncover the full story. Let's start with what we know. Max Verstappen, the four-time world champion and face of Red Bull's recent dominance, is under contract until the end of 2028. But deep within that contract lies a performance-related clause, one that could blow the entire driver market wide open. If Verstappen falls below fourth in the standings by the Hungarian Grand Prix, he can walk away at the end of 2025. Currently, he sits third, just 18 points ahead of George Russell, the very man he's rumored to replace at Mercedes. A few bad weekends could flip the script, but even if that clause doesn't activate, Mercedes could still buy Max out. The buyout fee rumored to be over £100 million. For a manufacturer like Mercedes, that price isn't just affordable. It's an investment in future domination. And why wouldn't they make that call? According to multiple insiders, including ex-F1 steward Johnny Herbert, Verstappen has already been shown Mercedes' 2026 technical plan, and he was wowed by what he saw. Here's why that's important. 2026 brings a seismic rules reset. The internal combustion engine will be paired with a much stronger electric component, and every team will face the unknown. But Mercedes? They've been preparing for this moment longer than anyone else. Reports from inside Brackley suggest their engine is already miles ahead on the dyno, while rivals, including Red Bull, are struggling with reliability, efficiency, and integration. That's a problem for Red Bull, because for the first time in their history, they'll be building their own engine. The Red Bull Powertrain's RBPT project, done in collaboration with Ford, is a bold gamble. But even Christian Horner, before his controversial departure, admitted that it would be unrealistic to expect Red Bull to beat Mercedes in their first attempt. And that's where Verstappen's frustrations begin. Think about it from Max's perspective. He's 27, in his prime. He wants wins, titles, and machinery he can trust. But over the past year, Red Bull has seen key personnel depart, internal instability shake its foundation, and now an engine program that's reportedly behind schedule. Even if Red Bull remains competitive, Verstappen knows that time is not on a driver's side, especially with younger talents like Oscar Piastri rising fast. It's no wonder comparisons are being made to Lewis Hamilton's legendary move from McLaren to Mercedes in 2013. Back then, Hamilton was doubted, but Niki Lauda and Toto Wolff convinced him that Mercedes would be ready for 2014. They were right. The result? One of the most dominant dynasties in F1 history. Today, Verstappen is in a similar position. And once again, it's Wolff behind the curtain, reportedly in direct talks with Max. So, who would make way for Verstappen at Mercedes? Most signs point to George Russell. While Russell has been strong at times, even outperforming Lewis Hamilton, his contract ends in 2025. On paper, replacing him with Verstappen makes sense. But it's a decision not without controversy. Jenson Button has warned that dropping Russell, who he sees as championship material, could backfire. He also raised an important point. Mercedes' car won't be built around Max's driving style like Red Bull's is. That could impact his performance. Still, Max isn't just chasing comfort. He's chasing legacy. And if he truly believes Mercedes is ahead on 2026 development, he may be willing to adapt. Herbert even suggested that Verstappen wants out, citing not just technical concerns, but dissatisfaction with the direction Red Bull is heading in. Rumors of unrest, missed targets, and a culture shift inside the team have all contributed to his growing unease. Red Bull, for their part, seemed desperate to hold on to him. After weeks of speculation, they parted ways with Christian Horner, a move many see as an attempt to clean house and convince Max to stay. But was it enough? Verstappen's decision, according to reports, will come in August, just after the summer break and the Hungarian GP deadline. There's also the Ford factor. While the American giant brings budget and branding to RBPT, they're unproven in modern F1. Mercedes, on the other hand, has the facilities, personnel, and proven history. They know how to build championship-winning engines. And in 2026, engines could be more important than ever. Verstappen knows this, and that's why the offer from Mercedes, if it's real, is so dangerous for Red Bull. Of course, there are risks on both sides. Should Verstappen leave, Red Bull loses not just a driver, but their cornerstone, the man who built their current dynasty. The psychological blow would be immense. And for Mercedes, they risk disrupting their internal chemistry, potentially damaging the career of George Russell, and betting everything on a single driver during a period of unprecedented technical change. But history favors bold moves. Hamilton's switch changed the sport. Could Verstappen's do the same? There's also a wild card, Kimi Antonelli, Mercedes' 18-year-old protege. Some believe he's being groomed for a 2026 debut.